Hi, everyone. It's Dibblee. I am the host and co-producer of Frock Off Television, here today with two fabulous ladies who I absolutely love and adore, and you will too as you listen to them share their wisdom. And Sue, who is my business partner, Sue Ferreira, who is the big brain behind Frock Off Television. She is all things technical and overall keeps me in line, which I think seriously is a full-time job that requires danger pay. But I'm going to get Sue to share a little bit with you about who she is and what she does in a couple of seconds. And then we're going to lead into our fabulous, just amazing woman who's touched my heart. And, you know, it's tough not to be emotional when you're talking to people you love. And it's really true. There are some people that touch your life and it's love at first sight, and you just know. And Shari Molchan, who is going to be sharing with us in a few minutes, is exactly that woman. So for now, I want you to meet my business partner, my, oh my gosh, big brain, Sue Ferreira. Tell them a little bit about you, and thanks for being in my life, girl. You rock.
Well, thank you very much. And am I coming up on the screen? I might have to stop. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll start again, and I'll cut this bit.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joe. Do I have to tell them how much I pay you to say those nice things about me? But anyway, we'll go from here. Yeah, I'm Sue Ferreira. Yesterday I closed down my medical practice by getting rid of my medical insurance, and now I'm heading off into this world, and I'm absolutely loving every minute of it. I just know there are so many people who have so many gifts and so much wisdom that they need to get out in the world, but they don't know how to get it out in the world. And so my mission is to do the ticky stuff. I'm the old bitty ticky dude, and I will get your wisdom out to the 7 billion people on this planet, even if they're not online. And so that's me. And but we've got much more important. We have the amazing Shari Molchan here. So I'm going to keep quiet because this is Shari's time.
Thank you, lady. You rock. You know, and here's the thing about Shari. I met Shari when I hadn't actually stopped wearing my frock. And it's amazing. There was something about Shari that seemed to just hone in and know. And it's one of those things when you connect with someone else who themselves has come through a lot in their life and is now bringing their message of amazingness and need, absolute need. Because when you hear what this woman does, there is actually really no bigger need, because you need to understand money. Yeah, money, money, money. If you don't get it, you're in big trouble. So, you know, I'm honored. Shari, thank you for being with us. Thank you for, you know, agreeing to share your story. And also, thank you for being a contributing author. I know you have your own books. You're a speaker. You're well-versed. You're an expert in your field. And certainly anyone that works with you has nothing but amazing things to say, because you deliver constantly. So I'm going to ask you to share stuff, share about who you are, and why you got into business. What was the thing that said, no more, enough, I've got to share my message?
Well, thanks, Joe. I love you. I just to go back, and before I started to that, I just want to say, you know, it's so about kindred spirits, you and I, when we first met, and sisters from another mother. Yeah, you've been a gift in my life, so thank you. You meant a lot to me too.
Thank you.
And Sue, always great to see you.
Good to see you, Shari. I'm going to confirm just absolutely the value of what Shari does, because I've been on a similar tack, and I just love what you do, Shari. So
yeah, well, I look forward to doing some stuff with you too. So and that's in the works, so people can look for that later on, Shari and Sue's show too. So because we do the same thing, so I'm excited to do that. Yeah, so just to give you a brief about me, I've been a financial advisor for over 18 years. And I mean, it wasn't really something I decided, you know, when you grow up, you know, what do you want to do? Sell insurance, right? I kind of landed in it. I always say it was divine intervention because my ex-husband died early at age 43 of cancer.
Mhm.
And the next year I was looking for work and didn't know what to do, and saw a job for sales and it said insurance. I was like, okay, you know, I can do that. He had no life insurance and neither did I. So I saw the value in insurance right away.
Mhm.
And that just grew into realizing how much people don't have their money stuff or
Mhm.
their money lives taken care of. And it grew into, I went into management, then I went into teaching, and then I left the business because it was going one way. And I realized that traditional financial planning doesn't work. And we're playing with old rules that our grandparents used to use. And I saw, you know, my fellow women out there struggling, especially. And I knew what that was like when I was 39 years old after divorce number 2. I had accrued tons of debt, didn't have a clue about managing my money or anything else. And somebody came into my life and mentored me and just showed me, you know, kind of money management and also money or self-discovery on the inner side. What I realized that money isn't an outside job. Money is not just an outside job, it's an inside job too.
Mhm.
And that's where the piece that most people aren't successful in life is because they've got these old beliefs and attitudes and money mindsets that's stopping them from getting where they want. And I know that was my case. And so now it's on my mission to change, you know, help people connect to their dreams, really. That's exactly what I want to do. And yes, does it include basic money management? Absolutely. You know, and the part that doesn't change is, you know, earn more, save less, and spend and put some money away. That still actually is true. But if you don't know how to do it, they're never going to do it. So I connect the dots for people and really tap into their hearts. That's where the power is, right?
I think so. And, you know, talking to people that have done work with you, what I have noticed, Shari, is there's a sense of freedom. There's a sense of release. And, you know, they're not carrying around all that baggage, all those old rules. But not only that, there's a certain amount of confidence. There's, you know, the shame goes away and the guilt goes away. And, you know, giving someone permission, and how ironic, it's their money. But, you know, giving someone permission to say, yeah, I have, you know, I got this, I know it. That's an amazing, amazing gift that you know, it's the mutual love fest, yes, but it's the mutual love fest because you deliver a sense, you know, we talk about frocks. Let's go figure. And how many frocks do women, or anyone, I guess, really, but you know, who your ideal client, we all know who we serve the best. How many frocks do those people wear before they come to you and they go, okay, I need some help. I don't know what I'm doing, and it's okay. We don't need to know everything. That's why we, all of us collectively, exist to serve our communities, or, you know, whoever we're touching. But when you think about the people that you've served, there are a lot of frocks. And I've seen what they look like. I've seen the people after. So, you know, tell us a little bit about what that might look like before someone comes to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of shame and fear and embarrassment when it comes to money. It's like right up there with, you know, the topics that we never talk about: sex, religion, money, you know. But it's something that we need to talk about. And I'm on a journey to get people talking about it. So many people come to me where they're at the end of the rope. And I really want to change that. And, you know, so here's some of the reasons why people come to me. You know, they're fearing for their future. They don't know. And I work a lot with baby boomers, right? Because I am one myself. And so I can relate to where they're at. And so there's a lot of them come to me. It's like, am I going to be okay financially in the future? You know, Freedom 55 is now more freedom 85 because we're living longer. And, you know, or they're just tired of going without or always struggling. I do a lot of work with couples. There's, you know, the biggest reason why people get to the biggest reason why marriages fail is a lack of communication. And one of the things that they're not communicating about, number one, is money. And so I love working with couples and opening up that conversation and watching those relationships heal. And it really is a healing. And, you know, not that I want to be classified as a marriage counselor by any stretch of the imagination, but that's really what it turns into. You know, so I get a lot of people that are just feeling stuck, right? They're in a job that they hate, you know, or a relationship that's draining them, or in a home that feels like more of a cage, you know, than their nest, right? And they don't want a lack of money to dictate the choices they have. And so one of the things I always say is money helps you make better choices. Better choices. Like it or not, it does, right? And so those are kind of the reasons, you know, like people come to me.
And it's interesting, and you were talking, you know, it's one of those things, it's like a taboo subject. It's funny that you say that, because yesterday Sue and I met with another very successful businesswoman, and the conversation came up about how people are nervous to disclose. It's like a shameful subject to say my business is earning money. Well, why are you in business? If you're in business, for example, so taking that separate from a couple who might be looking at, they're both employed, but business women are doing that. And that is, to me, that is so damning. That holds us back. We are not to apologize, because, like you said, not only does it give us better choices, if I want to donate, because as many of you know, we donate to Little Warriors because I'm a girl. And we also do the 12 for 12 program that allows us to get books into shelters. I can only do that if I'm earning money. This is not a surprise. And I mean, Sue, coming from the medical world, you might want to chime in here. You know all too well that this isn't 55, even 85 might be too early, right?
Well, yeah. I was laughing. I was chuckling to myself when Shari was talking then, because I actually have it as Freedom 99. And once we get to Canmore and we start talking, part of my talk is, are you interested in taking up immortality? Because I think we're going to live a very long time, and that's going to make everything that Shari talks about even more important. We're going to live a long time, and you know, provided we don't screw up and do wars or something like that. But yeah, and I think it's hugely important what Shari is teaching and the approach she takes to money. I'm totally with her in what she's doing. I think it's so important.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point about the living a long time. And so people are in dead-end jobs that they absolutely hate. And one of the things that I'm not just financial advisor, you know, and a money coach, I'm also a success. It's life, it's success, it's a lot of things. And one of them is finding something, your passion of what you do. I mean, you're a great example of it, Sue, is that, you know, you were in the traditional job world, right? And yet you're tapping into your passion, and you're going to make money. And there's nothing wrong with making money if, again, money gives you better choices, right? So depending on what you want to do, that's all going to be important. And if you're having trouble managing your money now at 50, let's say, and you're going to live to 100, you're going to be not a happy camper for the next 50 years. So it's about teaching people how they can tap into those, and not even tap into their passions, but more than that is just learning basic money management, which most of us were taught. I wasn't. My parents, I just saw them buy new cars and credit cards. You know, it was not a big deal. I had no idea. I was so, you know, we walked into the room, everybody, if their parents were talking about money, you know, Joe, you said about the, we don't talk about it. the parents was like, we're talking, how much do you make, Daddy? And it was like, none of your business, right? I mean, it's so crazy. As I tell clients, talk to your kids, show them budget, show them, start, say how much it costs to run a household. And we're not, and people say, oh, I should be in schools teaching this stuff. And I went, no, I want the parents who are teaching their role models for their kids, because the kids can learn this stuff and they go monkey see, monkey do. They go home and they don't know any different. I mean, I think there's both, but I want to sink my teeth into the baby boomers and help them go further. That's where I see a bigger gap than kids is the ones that are teaching them.
And I'm going to butt in again, because I'm so totally with you, because I started out basically doing the same thing for baby boomers. And I actually get really sick to my stomach when I think about it, Shari, and I know you do too, because not only is the basic lack of understanding what money is and what it can do for you not there, I don't see that foresight that people have planning for what, I mean, if you think you're going to retire at 60 and you're going to live to 110, that's 50 years. What are you going to do, guys? It's like, oh my goodness. So I'm right with you, and it's kind of funny. My dad was a bank manager, never taught me a thing. I once got the whole bank back for ages because I didn't know how to write a check and I wrote the wrong thing. And it turned out to be the bank manager's daughter who helped the bank back. So you're right there.
It's so true.
It's so true. And, at this time, I don't think there's ever been a more important time for us to have responsibility and accountability for our lives. And I couldn't agree more with regards to parents. First of all, it's not about somebody else picking up our slack, okay? Because we've learned stuff along the way, whether it's bad or good, we have learned. One of the, I think back to something I did with my children when they were younger, and, my daughter's 35 now, and I don't know if she'd want me to say that, but anyway, we had kind of a budget test. If you want to go on a trip, you have to do this and this. And then when I met my husband now, and Justin was only 11, he really liked Tic Tacs. And I thought, how can we turn a lesson about money into something he'll remember? So we did something called the Tic Tac test, because the Tic Tac test was, how much does a pack of Tic Tacs cost? Well, it's $1, Joe. Okay, well, it's $1 when they're not on sale, because you can get them at 79 cents. We used it all kinds of ways. And anyway, we did this whole test, and it would take too long to share, but the short version was this. When it was all said and done, after 1 year, for him to continue to have one package of Tic Tacs a day, it was $1,200. And so I turned to him and I said, what would you do if I handed you $1,200 right now? What would you do with that money? Well, I mean, he's like not quite 12, right? He said, hand me that money? I said, no, I didn't say that. I said, what if you had that? What would you do? And I will tell you, I knew it hit home when I heard him on the phone one day, and he said, well, you should do the Tic Tac test. Like, he was all that in a bag of chips. And I was like, the stepmother has made impact with the Tic Tac test. But it's all in the presentation. And like yourself, both of you, now I came from, very humble beginnings. Well, that's an understatement, but money, my dad was always looking for the money, and he thought people that had money, this is where this whole mindset comes in. He thought people that had money were bad people, because if they had money, they had to be crooks.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
How many people I've met so many entrepreneurs in my life, they get to a point, they're like at the tipping point. They have enough money, if they could invest in their business, they could take it to the next level, but they blow the money. They blow the money because having the money makes them part of that debt, what my dad spoke about. And, I did not ever acquire his beliefs, thank goodness. But what I know to be true is there's still a lot of people out there that, all of us work with entrepreneurs. And so the frocks they down around money are based on whatever that belief is, like you said. And I love when I hear other people talking about what the transformation is that you've given them. That's why I'm so grateful to have you in our 12 for 12 program that you've written in the Freedom Edition of Frock Off, Living Undisguised, because I have seen firsthand, you know, just listening to other people, you know, without being indiscreet, because they've told me, you know, your clients are over the moon because they get to take back their life. And I mean,
that's even why, that's why I even call it Change Your Life Coaching, and it's not even, you know, some big fancy name. I was like, okay, what is it that I do? And I changed their lives. So it's like doing that. I mean, and you know, I've like 30-year-old and one of my clients, Pat, who's 72, who lets me talk about her. I mean, she was a nurse for years and years and years, and their husband, you know, she always took care of the family because that's what you did, you know, and that tradition. She raised her kids, and then her husband decided after 45 years of marriage that he wanted a divorce. And she was devastated, didn't see it coming. So she had moved out, and they were in Victoria. She moved up to Nanaimo, and she bought a house, and she'd gotten herself into debt, and, you know, by starting a thing. And she happened to see me speak at West Coast Women's Show. And so, you know, followed my newsletter for a while, and then finally, you know, got the guts really to actually phone me and says, I really need to come and see you. And, you know, we got her money straightened out. You know, she was not spending where she could have been spending because she was dealing with an old financial planner. Says, well, you shouldn't spend your money. And I'm like, you're 72. You have a life. You want to travel. You're healthy. Let's go. Right. And so she's, you know, she has a little business that gives her some money. And she said to me, you know, she wished that she had met me 30 years ago. And when I get comments like that, you know, it just juices me. I mean, I love her. You know, she said, I wish I had $1 million to pay you. And I said, I wish you did too.
They have choices. Right? No, that's awesome.
But that stuff, that's what makes me, you know, when I just see this transformation of people, and they just, that, like you said, about the self-confidence, and, you know, they're like, money, yeah, I do that, you know, that's why I do what I do, because then it's just so empowering, and they're, you know, knowing your numbers is so freeing. Oh my gosh. And so that's the key, you know. It is, but it's all the other stuff that goes behind that, right? It's not just about knowing your numbers. You could track and budget, but unless you've done the inner work, you gotta, you know what those money attitudes and beliefs are.
Absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely.
Because we all have stories.
Yeah, don't we?
Oh yeah.
That's why I think this is so critical, and that's why I'm so grateful that we've been able to, you know, have these types of conversations.
Yeah.
All different types of areas in life, because the truth is, we're not, you know, if people say to me, oh, you know, I'm not like that when I'm here because I wear this hat and I'm very clear. It's like, you know, you're still the same person unless you have two heads. Like last time I looked, you're one human being. And as such, we've got to form that, you know, we've got to have access. And that's why, you know, I credit this whole, you know, Frock Off television is really like, let's make this happen. And I mean, with what she's doing with helping people create the viral buzz and the marketing through the video channels and the technology, just like this, I mean, this is amazing, just to be able to sit here and have a conversation that's real and that actually touches, you know. I would say if you're watching this today, make sure you get to know Shari. We're going to include information for how you can connect with Shari, because the truth of the matter is, we only have a certain amount of time in our life. And, you know, Shari, how powerful your story is, because I've heard you speak, and how powerful that story is when you talk about how, you know, here you were married and all of a sudden, that is such a, you know, that's a deal breaker for a lot of people, okay? I mean, you could have went the other way and fell prey to falling into that same victimhood of, oh my gosh, money was there, the money was gone, and I had nothing. You were young. I know your story. And so it's so very powerful. And I've said this, and I say it time and time again, every time we do one of these interviews, is that it's out of tragedy and trauma or necessity that we find the thing that we are the best to bring to the world, right? That's what generates the interest and the need to be the change in the world. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for your friendship. I thank you for the good you're doing in the world, because it is so impactful to have the ability and the responsibility and the accountability and the knowledge to care for yourself, like that. And knowing, you know, just what I know from Sue and the conversations we've had, many conversations around people and their longevity now, there's no more time, people. This is your time. Take back your life. Let go of those frocks. Start owning it. We're going to make sure you have all the connection information for Shari. And again, Shari, thank you for being the change in the world. You are a rock star. So thank you. And thank you, Sue, for being here with us again today and making this all possible. It's Frock Off Television, everyone.
I know.
Can't wait to see
So
you.
excited.
Well, and you know, we can turn it into a love fest, but I've only met Shari once before, and it was just like, this lady rocks. And
Thanks, you.
I just, I know we're on the same page for this, and I know we have the same worries, and I just love what you're doing, and I just know how much it's needed. So that's from me too, not even from the Lady Joe herself. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you again, ladies, and we'll see you again soon at our next Frock Talk Television. And until then, I hope you're having a frockalicious day. And remember, don't stand in the story. Don't do that, but stand on it and use it to leverage and catapult you into the success that you deserve. Take care. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.